Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Dunk Master 9000. Thanks for the suggestion, Dunk Master. You asked, why do we dunk cookies in milk? Like, who started this? And why does it taste so much better? If you've ever taken a bite of a dry cookie and thought, this could use some milk, you're not alone. Dunking cookies isn't just a random snack habit. It's backed by science, history, and maybe even a little psychology. So, grab a cookie, pour yourself some milk, and get ready, because we're about to break down the magic behind this perfect pairing, right here on Explaining Everything. All right, let's start with the most important question. Why does dunking a cookie make it taste so much better? It all comes down to chemistry, physics, and the way our taste buds work. When you dip a cookie into milk, a few things happen at once. First, the milk softens the cookie, making it easier to chew and enhancing its texture. Second, the fats and proteins in the milk interact with the sugars and flavors in the cookie, making them taste even richer. Third, the emulsifiers in milk, which help mix fat and water, allow your tongue to pick up flavors more easily. This means that a regular crunchy cookie is good, but a milk-drenched cookie is basically a flavor explosion. Ever noticed how chocolate chip cookies taste even better with milk? That's because the fat in milk counteracts the bitterness of cocoa, making the chocolate taste smoother and sweeter. Science is delicious. Okay, but why do we dunk cookies in milk and not, say, water, or juice, or soda? Simple. Milk is the perfect balance of fat, water, and protein. Water would just make your cookie soggy without adding anything to the flavor. And orange juice? Let's just say, if you've ever accidentally brushed your teeth before drinking OJ, you know why that's a bad idea. Milk, on the other hand, has a mild sweetness and a creamy texture that pairs beautifully with cookies. Plus, it has casein proteins, which interact with chocolate and vanilla flavors in a way that makes them even more satisfying. Basically, milk and cookies aren't just a snack, they're chemically designed to be best friends. So, who was the first genius to dunk a cookie in milk? Turns out, humans have been dunking dry food into liquid for centuries. The Romans used to dip their hard biscuits into wine because, of course, they did. In medieval times, people softened their stale bread in broth, and in the 19th century, British folks started dipping biscuits in tea, a tradition that still exists today. But milk and cookies, that's a relatively modern thing. It really took off in the 20th century, especially with the rise of mass-produced cookies. Once Oreos hit the market in 1912, people started dunking them in milk, and the trend just stuck. And now, it's an unofficial rule of snacking. If you have cookies and milk in the same room, you have to dunk. It's science. Probably. Now, let's address something serious. What's the perfect dunk time? Because if you've ever lost half your cookie to the bottom of your glass, you know the struggle is real. Luckily, scientists have studied this. Yes, really. A physicist at the University of Bristol found that 4 seconds is the ideal dunk time for a cookie. Any longer, and you risk the dreaded cookie collapse. It's a delicate balance, soaking up just enough milk to make it soft, but not so much that it disintegrates into sadness. But let's be real, we all live on the edge. Some of us dunk for 5 seconds. Some of us risk 6. And some absolute mad lads just leave the cookie in there and fish it out with a spoon. Do with this information what you will. Dunking cookies in milk isn't just a taste thing, it's a psychological thing. For many of us, milk and cookies are tied to childhood memories. Warm cookies, a glass of milk, maybe some cartoons in the background. Your brain stores that as a moment of happiness. So, when you dunk a cookie, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that make you feel good. Basically, dunking cookies is like giving your brain a little high five, and that's reason enough to keep doing it. So why do we dunk cookies in milk? Because science says it tastes better. Because milk enhances flavors and textures. Because people have been dunking dry things into wet things for centuries. And, most importantly, because it makes us happy. It's a combination of chemistry, nostalgia, and a tiny bit of snack time rebellion. Because let's face it, no one tells us we have to dunk. We just do. So next time you grab a cookie, remember, dunking isn't just snacking. It's a scientifically backed, historically rich, joy-inducing experience. And if your cookie falls in, that's just part of the adventure. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and maybe scoop that cookie at the bottom of your milk. It's getting too soggy to eat. And hey, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.